this is another child, some
Yeah.
immature child who knows
Wait, wait, wait,
just
wait. Save,
enough
save,
to be
save, save,
aggravating.
save it for the live stream. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're back up and running. And so, first off, guys, I just want to state that for the record, I was taking care of business. I have not been taken down by any means whatsoever. But I want to go on the record for letting you guys know what's happening here. So I'm personally being attacked by somebody who is trying to prevent us from having freedom of speech. And so I want to clearly outline what happened here as I did my investigation into understanding what's going on here because I have a freedom of fair use in using music, and because I don't monetize off this, I make zero money on this channel whatsoever. Nobody's ever given me any money from this. Nobody's ever I've never scanned money off of people. No, I've never received a super chat for this. There has been zero money exchanging hands. I haven't even. I've gone so as far as to people have wanted to try and do like hey, let's do a poker tournament. We can now pitch in some money and then distribute it out based off of that. And I'm like, no, anything money related, I don't want to have anything to do with. That's how stringent it is that I've been about making sure that there has been no money connection to this channel whatsoever. In fact, I've had people who've offered to give money to this community for me to pass out, and in an attempt to try and give put me in a situation to where I would be responsible having money changed hands, and that would have been related to the idea of being able to shut me down for taking money in some type of shape or form and then redistributing it, which I've not accepted ever because I knew it was going to be a trap. Every single one of these times, every time this has ever happened in the past, it's always been an attempt to try and trap me into making a mistake in regards to ethics. And I know very clearly what my rights are on freedom of speech are. So let me just explain to you what happened. I had an individual who made a copyright complaint who is not the owner of a copyright claim of the music that was played this morning on with David Bowie. That individual name is Jerry Lee. I contacted because of the copyright claim. YouTube gives me an email address at which I can contact the person and let them know. So I wrote to them and I asked them to remove their content. This is what I wrote to them. I said, "Dear Jerry Lee, I'm writing to formally address a copyright claim you have made against my YouTube channel," which I listed. "After a thorough investigation, it has come to my attention that you do not own the rights to the content in question. Therefore, your claim is invalid and must be withdrawn immediately. Additionally, I believe the use of the content falls under fair use as defined by copyright law. Fair use permits limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the rights holders for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. My use of the content in question meets the criteria for fair use due to the following reasons: purpose and character of use. The content that I use is for educational informational purposes, which is transformative in nature. Nature of copyrighted work, the material used is factual and non-fictional. Number three, effects on the market. The use of the content does not negatively impact the market value of the original work. I request that you cease and desist from making any further false claims on my content. Continued false claims will result in legal action to protect my rights and interests. Thank you for your immediate attention to this matter. Sincerely, Casey Shaw." To which Jerry Lee responded. By the way, I sent my email approximately, does it say 11:34 a.m. He responded within 5 minutes. In 5 minutes' time, he responded back and he says, "You do not own the rights to David Bowie's music. Using his music to assist in scamming innocent people into your AMC lies is illegal. I will report every instance of using copyrighted music. Further, I welcome your lawsuit." So there you go. There you have it. This is an attack on personal freedom of speech, and I will take care of it. I will get swiftly
I
on that.
I'd like you to consider just offering an olive branch and give him an invitation to come on, and obviously he has an issue with AMC. I would say clearly your issue is with AMC and not with the use of copyrighted material. Would you like to come on and argue your side, argue your claim that somehow or another someone's being scammed, or even the wording shows it's poorly worded. If you listen to his rebuttal to you, it's it doesn't exactly scream intellectual. So I doubt very seriously you'll get him to come out like a big boy, like an adult.
Well, so here's the deal.
Make his claims and then make an argument, make a reasonable argument for his claims. This is easier for him to do this childlike shit.
So here's the interesting thing here is that anybody can submit a claim on copyright material for anything. It doesn't matter. And YouTube has to go as far as to take every single one of those claims as serious claims, right? Because if they don't, then YouTube could be potentially liable for not protecting the stolen copyrighted material, quote unquote stolen copyrighted material. So if their algorithms are picking up that music's being played that's copyrighted, which in this particular case it was music that was copyrighted that was being played, it's now upon me to prove that I'm not making money on it or that I'm doing something illegally to profit or gain from this, and that I'm not using it in some kind of fair right kind of action or fair use rather. So I think this is kind of interesting here. That they're trying to make this claim, but let me tell you why it's interesting. The timing on this is very, very interesting to me because the actual claim in and of itself comes with a strike automatically from YouTube, which means that YouTube, like I've never gotten one of these. Well, that's not true. I got one in 2021 because I turned on some music that was copywritten and then just left to go get a haircut, and then I was just trying to leave some music up for everybody to listen to. That one I got struck for because the actual owner of the material was like, hey, you're using my material like for a long time while you're gone, and that's not okay. So in this particular case here, using like a single song like what I'd normally do in the mornings is not something that's going to be considered, that would be considered unfair use. And so the thing here is that they don't have a claim to stand on, but if they make multiple claims and YouTube sees those claims before I can stop them, then what they're trying to do is shut down the channel for a period of time, right? Because once the second strike occurs, you get shut down. I think it's either for a week or for 2 weeks or something like that. So this person's trying to purposefully shut down the channel for a period of time here because for whatever reason, they don't want me to be heard for some period of time. So I'm not going to give them that opportunity.
He made his reason very clear. He said,
what I think you need to do is to have a poll on your channel right now as to how big this guy's penis is, and have people vote on how big his penis is.
I don't really care. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. But
can you turn our volume up on Discord?
Yep. Sorry, hold on a second here. My bad. It was still down. There you go. You're up. Yeah, UPS delivery guy says, I thought someone in comments this morning was kind of sketchy. He made some comment about the song. You're absolutely right. And that's the thing is that every time I get play one of these songs, YouTube sends me a warning and they say like, hey, we know you're not monetized, but if you ever decide to monetize, this is going to be a problem, right? Like they know that I'm playing copyrighted material. So the only time it ever really becomes an issue is when the actual owner of the copyrighted material makes a claim. This person who made this claim, this Jerry Lee Yahoo, does not own the rights to it. He has no claim to make. He has to be the rightful owner of the material to make the claim. His claim is that it's AMC lies, which is going to be very easy for me to fight because he's already screwed himself by basically saying who he's here, why he's here, who he's here to stop from communicating. And this will be really, really simple to fight. But the problem here is that I have to make sure that I fight this fight properly before I continue to do what it is that I normally would do. Because if I don't, he'll just make another claim and then I'm off for 2 weeks. So I have to be really careful about making sure that I don't play any music until I resolve this. Until then. But yeah, he has no standing. He has zero standing whatsoever.
This guy's just one of a long line of intellectual infants. They're the same. They fall into the same group that wants to bridge, freedom of speech. They want to have a speech police. His claim that AMCs are lies. So he's appointing himself. He's like the self-anointed hall monitor. Like, he has decided in his infinite wisdom that what's happening here is we're lying to people about AMC. So he's taking
somehow
it
the
upon
music's
himself
helping
to save everyone else. I mean, it is.
Yeah, and somehow the music is making a difference.
Yeah, right.
That's the best part about all this.
Yeah.
I know Jerry Lee's Yahoo's sister, and she's a hoe. But yeah, this is freedom of speech, Jerry. I hate to break it to you, but this is what people are allowed to do in the world, and you're not going to stop it, regardless of how savvy you think you are.
Unemployed child who's he's probably somewhere between the ages of, I don't know, 22 and 32.
Actually, I would say he's a lot older. He's probably in his 60s.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because okay. there's these kind of older group of people that I've ran to and before, and what it is they think they have like just enough internet knowledge to know that they can kind of disrupt people, and but they don't.
Yeah, they can manipulate the system.
Yeah, but they're old enough to not understand that there's ramifications to that as well. So the other part to this is the fun part for me is that if I should so choose to, his ability to try and shut me down is causing me damages because I'm not able to continue to do what it is that I would normally do. So, and that's not going to be hard to prove. I can easily prove that. I can easily prove that I can't continue to speak with freedom of speech, and because he's stopping that or preventing that from being the case, I now have a claim against him. So this is going to be it's going to be a cut and easy. I mean, he's already admitted to it. So it's going to be really, really simple for me. If he doesn't close this claim within the next 24 hours, I'm going to move forward with this. So it'll be really simple for me to stop him from continuing to put any kind of problems on the channel whatsoever. Especially with that message that he sent to me, which I'm screenshotting, so you can't get rid of it. Done.
Imagine being so angry, so bitter.
You fucked up, Jerry.
You done fucked up, Jerry. You fucked up good. But it's all right. You made the mistake, and I'm going to fix it.
Good way to start your week, Jerry.
Freedom of speech is a thing, and you cannot stop it. I'm really surprised. I'm really, really, really surprised that it's taken this long for them to get this far. For somebody to come in and actually try to prevent this from happening.
Try to pull this lever.
Yeah. That's desperation for you.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, let me get this right. It's Monday morning. Most people barely gotten to their jobs to work, the commuters. I mean, what's this guy? He just gets out of bed and says, I'm going to tune into a random channel where they talk about stocks, a specific stock. And then I'm going to wait for them to play a song, which he obviously knows they do. And then I'm going to take action. I'm going to right this egregious wrong. Yeah. It smacks of bitterness, some sort of anger. This guy's been wounded somewhere or another. He's either put his $11 lunch money that his girlfriend allows him to spend each week and put it into AMC, and now he's down.
Or he could be shorting the stock and doesn't want to see it moving up, and if it does, he's screwed.
Yeah. He could be one of the people who's really short AMC, and he's terrified of what's going to happen to him, and he's doing his best to try to mitigate damage.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Or he's got a small penis. We should have a poll on that. Come on.
A poll on
I
polls.
have a special disdain for cowards. It's the same ones who used to come in the live chat and type nasty messages or make attacks, ad hominem attacks against either myself or other participants here. They never, not a single time, have they ever had the balls to ask KC for a link, come in, step up to the microphone, and have a debate on the merits of whatever grievance that they seem to be carrying around. So I chalk each and every one of them up to the cowards.
Got it right.
You
started right. Small penis and no balls.
Yeah. Cowardly.
That's right.
They're afraid. They have equal parts fear and anger. So they're partly built up out of bitterness and anger, but the other part, the predominant mixture ingredient in their makeup is fear. That's probably best.
The interesting part about all this is that these probationary period for a claim like this, which I'm probably going to be able to get removed completely one way or the other, but the probationary period for this is 90 days, which puts us, do you guys remember what date I said? Because I don't see it listed here now. I might have actually. I do. What was the date on it? I remember. January what?
January 12th.
12th. Yeah, January 12th. Very interesting timing on this. Very, very interesting timing.
What's January 12th?
January. Well, I mean, it's not specifically any one. I mean, January 12th is a Sunday. I'm pulling up the calendar right now. It's a Sunday, but if you go back in history and you were to look at like GME's price movement during that period of time, that's like when it really started rocketing upwards, was during that time frame. Danny, it's good to see you're okay, buddy. I'm glad you reached out to let everybody know that you're all right. We were kind of worried about you a little bit, but yeah. C Hill says maybe he used his mommy's house as collateral and bought $1 in puts. It's messed up.
That's funny.
That's messed up, man.
Maybe Jerry just didn't get his pumpkin spice latte this morning.
No. Pumpkin spice lattes. Hey, man, I've drank those before. That's not fair.
Yeah, I know. They're pretty good.
But I only do half the pumps of pumpkin spice, though. You put all of the... If he's going full, he's probably asking for extra pumps of pumpkin spice. I only do half. Anything... If you do the full amount, by the way, I think for a grande, it's 4 pumps, because I get 2. But we'll just assume that he probably gets 4 plus. I just know because they always put it on the ticket. Danny says, Casey, I thought I did reach out, but I thought about it and never did. My bad. No, I mean, I'm sure you were probably under a lot of stress, and you probably have a lot of people to reach out to and talk to. So I completely understand. I'm just giving you a hard time, but I'm glad you're okay. I really, more than anything, I'm glad you're okay. Amazing Bluetooth says, oh, I'm sure he asked for extra pumps, all right. Yeah.
On a positive note, not to change the subject too much, but I went to AMC to see a Wild Robot movie with my family.
Yeah.
And at one point I went to the concession, and you know how they have a line for A-list members and like a separate line for, people that aren't? Everyone was in line for the A-list member side, and it was a huge line all the way to the door. and there was like maybe like 1 or 2 like cashiers, but I just thought it was funny. I was like, literally everybody here right now is A-listed. Like, how funny is that?
It's great. It's awesome. We need more of that because, I mean, it really comes with benefits. The benefits are amazing for the A-list. membership. I mean, the amount of the three movies. I quite frankly can't believe that they're still offering 3 movies a week for the price that they're giving it for. So, because I mean, if you can afford to put like every person in your family on that, I mean, it's just like way more tickets than you would possibly need to see all the movies. But it's the benefits that you get, the kickbacks from the concessions alone. I'd say we go as me and my family, we go to the movies probably at least once a month, sometimes twice a month. And so if we go 2 months, so 4 times, if we go 4 times in 2 months, usually that 5th time, anything that we want to buy is free. It's like the kickbacks on the rewards is, we've got enough coupons for $5 rewards that everything ends up being free that 5th time. So our entire meals paid for, popcorn's, all good, drinks paid for, everything's completely paid for on that 5th time, which is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, and sometimes they give you I think they give everybody who is either stub members or A-list, I can't remember, free donut holes. So I had some free donut holes too.
So they only have that in some. We learned this because we were asking when we went this last time because we wanted the donut holes. If you must have an AMC that doesn't have the meals, right?
You mean like a dine-in?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a dine-in here.
Right. So the donut holes are only good at non-dine-in AMC theaters. So you can't get the donut holes in it. So it's a little bonus thing that they're kind of like for any of the movie theaters that don't have the dine-in portion of it. You guys are getting it. However, there is a note on there that says that if you don't want the donut holes, I think you can trade the coupon in for a free popcorn. I think instead, because the one that we go to is a dine-in, so we don't get the donuts.
They also had, they actually ran out when we got there, but I tried ordering them for the Express, but they had the Coke-flavored Oreos there, too.
Were they any good?
They were out of them. They let me have, like, a free bag of the AMC sweets or whatever, what I ended up just picking the pretzels, but they told me I could get, like, any, like, candy I wanted because they had ran out of them. And I had already paid for them because I did the Express thing.
Yeah.
Where you you just go there and you just pick your stuff up. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't tried it. My wife and I have tried the Oreo flavored Coke, and she actually liked it. It wasn't bad. It doesn't sound like it goes together.
No, it doesn't.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I feel like I've seen other things where they've come out with shit and you're just like, how does that work? And it it doesn't, and this doesn't sound like it would work, but it really wasn't terrible.
I'm gonna have to give it a try. I was kind of rejecting the thought or the idea of it, but maybe I'll give it a try.
Yeah,
Oreos,
now they have,
Coke.
they have, have you seen the beef jerky that's Dr. Pepper flavored, and they have a chili cheese Frito flavored beef jerky?
Yeah, I haven't. I've seen the first one, but not the second one.
Come out with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Janito, good afternoon. Guys, it's time for some numbers. Let's do some numbers. I'm going to take you guys over to the other page here. I'm not going to be able to see what it is you guys are saying, so hold those personal thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns. By the way, guys, the only reason that it took me so long to get the live stream started back up was due to the fact that I was doing research and trying to submit everything that I needed to submit to fight this. So I could have started. I'm not under any kind of content strike that's going to keep me from being here. So, just throwing that out there that there's no issues. I just was doing some homework. So let me take you guys over to the other page here. I'm not going to be able to see what it is you guys are saying, so hold those personal thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns until you see the big tramp back up on the screen again. let's see. I'll bet Jerry probably thinks Jerry's probably not even here. He probably doesn't even know that I'm able to. He probably thought he was shutting me down. Little did he know. All right. Let's take a look and see what we got going on here. Starting, I guess since I didn't do the 9 o'clock numbers, we'll go ahead and run through all the numbers real quick here. Price prediction tally points. So I had a unique price prediction from the rest of everybody on Friday and ended up getting an extra bonus point for that day as well. So I was clearly the winner for Friday. Congratulations to me. Yay. And then we have a new price predictions for this week, and they're not meant as financial advice. It's just simply four apes guessing as best as we possibly can to try and stay sharp on price movement. Where we think price is going to close at. The low man on the totem pole for the day is Tech with 370 to 460. I'm up from that with 373 to 463. Nana has 375 to 465, and Apex has 399 to 489. Apex does have a unique price prediction. Short exempt volume. We had, I think it was 7 million shares traded. It's just a little over 7. It was almost 7.1 million shares traded on Friday. In total, our short exempt volume ended up being 114,000 shares. Remember, the magic number we want to see is over 300K. That's a big number. Utilization was slightly down day over day, but what we're going to find out here in a minute is that we actually had more shares borrowed than returned. And so utilization usually utilization would be up, but that seems like maybe why utilization might be down is institutions may have bought more shares. But it is at 32.31%. Day-over-day price change on Friday was down 0.48%. Max pain for this week is 450. It's 450 for the next 2 weeks as well. GME's max pain for the day-to-day is coming in at $20. They're at $20.72 currently. It's $20 for the next 2 weeks as well. Taking a look at exchange-traded volume. Normally by this time of the day, I would expect to see about, let's see, we're 10 o'clock, 60% going through off-exchange and EDGX combined. We have 63.21% going through off-exchange. EDGX is at 7.34. The combined total on that 70.55% or 10.55% higher than I would expect it to be normally. CHX volume for the day today is 0 shares. Nothing unusual about that value. Shares borrowed in the last hour or two, or since I looked at it earlier this morning, only returned shares. In total, since 2045 on Friday, we've seen approximately 1.5 million shares borrowed on AMC. There's currently 1.8 million now, according to IBKR, available. Fees are at 1.55% with a rebate of 3.28. Taking a look at GME, total amount of exchange going through CHX is currently at 0 as well. Shares borrowed since earlier this morning, only returned shares. Since 2045 on Friday, we've seen about 850,000 shares borrowed. There's fees are at 0.41 right now with a 1.3 million available and a rebate of 4.42. Institutional shares, 121.75 million shares owned by institutions. Reported earlier this morning, it's now 121. Fintel's verifying that I'm a human. Hold on a second here. 121.75, so no change. GME was reported at 103. Hold on a second here. GME was reported at 103.323 million, and that's still the same. No change. Options. Highest amount of call volume so far for the day-to-day. Uh-oh. Is this going to work? Okay, it worked. Highest amount of volume so far for the day-to-day is coming in at a $4.50 strike, which is where it was last week when we ended out the week. And now, let's see, we have at 4.5, we have 5.1 thousand contracts. Highest amount of puts coming in at a $4 strike. That's actually a dollar less than where we were at last week on puts. There's 590 contracts in volume so far this morning. Market suggesting a closing price somewhere between 4 and 450 by the end of the day today, based off of the volume levels. Taking a look at GME, highest amount of call volume so far for the day today is coming in at a strike price of 21, with 2.3 thousand contracts in volume at 21. The highest amount of put volume coming in at 20, which means the market's targeting 2050 by the end of the day, plus or minus 25 cents, so like 2025 to 2075, and the price is currently at 2076. Max pain is 20. Taking you guys over to the other screen. Let me move a couple screens around and we'll take a look at the rest of the data. Ooh, look at those bond yields rocketing upwards. My guess, since we've seen this happen a couple different times in the past, is this is just an attempt to try and save the market here from going down. We'll take a look at that in a second. Ortex. So far for the day-to-day on Ortex, actually, you know what? Ortex is not showing any shares borrowed yet today. How odd. That is a first. For AMC or GME, is not showing any shares borrowed so far. That is highly unusual, because we know we've already seen some through IBKR. Maybe their system is just down right now and reporting? I don't know. That's odd. Okay. We'll see if that changes later on. Utilization day over day dropping from 32.88% to 32.31%. However, our on loan amount increased from 61.5 million shares on loan to 64.25. That's a 2.75 million share increase in shares on loan. Ortex is estimating that about 530,000 of that was in new short interest. And that puts our estimated short share interest of the free float percentage from 16.34 to 16.47. On loan average age per day dropped a little bit with all those newly loaned shares of 2.75 million newly loaned shares from 35.2 days to 34.37. And security lending volume increased from 1.8 million to 5.92. Again, no borrowed numbers being reported on the live tracker for Ortex. Utilization dropping from 31.27 to 31.1. The on loan amount dipping from 54.95 million shares on loan to 54.06. This will decrease the estimated short share interest of the free float from 9.48 to 9.43, and the on loan average age per day rising from 37.58 days to 38.21. Security lending volume pretty close to the same. It dropped a little bit from 3.63 million to 3.34. SSR trigger price for the day-to-day on AMC is at $3.75. Currently, there's 53.3 thousand contracts out of the money of the calls versus 4.5 thousand contracts that are in the money. 7.7 thousand contracts are out of the money of the puts versus 7.7 that are in the money. Trigger price for GME for SSR for the day-to-day is $18.75. There's currently 274.7 thousand contracts out of the money of the calls versus 34.9 thousand contracts that are in the money. 80.5 thousand contracts are out of the money of the puts versus 20,000 contracts that are in the money. Orders by Fidelity customers, AMC and GME are the only two that should be on this list that I'm looking for, and I do not see any of which that are on, either of which are on here. Look at those bond yields just really ripping right now. It's kind of crazy. Normally when we've seen bond yields driving up like this, the VIX gets crushed down. And it does seem to be leveled out. It's not so. If the VIX was going to be rising and the bond yields start trending up like this, and it's just stabilizing at 2047, let's see here. What MMRI earlier this morning was
The
two.
bonds don't trade today.
Bond yields.
It's Columbus Day.
It should
Yeah,
still the
there's
value
no bond- there's no bond
but the
trading.
value of the yields, they may not be trading, but the value of the yielding portion of the bonds should still change in value.
Okay.
So we went from 261.53 earlier this morning to